6:45 a.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. India extends fullest support to Sri Lanka. The police caution cyclists over increasing road accidents. Plans to expedite the development of the KKS harbour. The PUCSL says no power cuts in the morning for the next 2 weeks. The government schools and the government-approved schools in Colombo and suburbs closed this week. The Foreign Minister Pires meets the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. The police urge not to queue up for fuel in the next 3 to 4 days. SLBC depots to issue fuel to private buses. The Paddy Marketing Board has distributed 1,000 or rather 10,000 metric tons of rice to the market. In news overseas, Ukraine to ban music by some Russians in media and public spaces. In sports news, Pathum Nissanka's brilliant maiden ODI 100 secures big chase. India extends fullest support to Sri Lanka's economic revival. The Indian Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said that the Indian Parliament, including the ruling party and opposition members, unanimously passed a resolution to support Sri Lanka to build the economy. India has so far provided credit facilities worth more than $3.5 billion. With Parliament assurance, it is expected that the Indian government will extend support further with more credit facilities. The government schools and government-approved schools in Colombo and suburbs are closed this week. The government made this decision due to the fuel shortage and transport issues. The Minister of Education, Susil Premajayant, suggested an online or distance learning system to the students who miss out lessons this week in schools. The Paddy Marketing Board has distributed 10,000 MT of rice to the market. The main objective is to keep the rice price under control. Rice is available in many sales outlets, including the Santosa network. The board is expected to release more stocks of rice in the future based on the yield from the Yala and Maha seasons. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Sri Lanka police says that they are directing special attention with regard to the increasing use of bicycles by people in the country owing to the prevailing fuel shortage. Police spokesman SSP Nihal Taldua stated that a total of 1,202 fatal accidents have been reported so far this year and that 96 of the deceased were cyclists. He said that the lack of headlights and rear-end lights on bicycles, cyclists wearing dark-coloured clothing at night, non-compliance with road signs and not paying attention to oncoming vehicles while crossing the road have led to an increase in accidents. The traffic police have taken steps to inspect the bicycles within the next 2 weeks in this regard, he said. The spokesman said that the police are also focusing on the rapid spread of dengue in the country. The Police Environmental Protection Division has taken steps to inspect places and file cases against those who are negligent about mosquito breeding grounds. He said the Police Environmental Protection Division has inspected 35,965 institutions in 2021 and 36,959 institutions in 2022. A total of 316,858 homes and premises have been inspected so far this year. The number of mosquito breeding grounds identified in 2021 is 13,228 and in this year it is 20,741. Mosquito larvae have been found in 3,981 places in 2021 and 8,609 places this year. So far this year, 1,615 cases have been filed over mosquito breeding sites, he said, while adding that the police expect public assistance to control this situation. The people living in the Western Province should pay special attention in this regard, he said. Sri Lanka's Minister of Ports, Shipping and Aviation says that the government of India has extended financial assistance of $45 million for the development of the Kankasanthurei KKS harbour. Minister Nimal Siripal de Silva stated that accordingly, the Kankasanthurei port is planned to be developed expeditiously. Minister De Silva stated that after the development of the port, it is planned to start freight operations directly from India. Sri Lanka's Ministry of Finance and Export-Import Bank of India, Exim Bank, signed an agreement in this regard in January 2018. The upgradation project would make KKS Harbour a fully fledged commercial port, further strengthening Sri Lanka's efforts to become a regional maritime hub. The Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka PUCSL says that there will be no power cuts between 7 a.m. and 12 noon for 2 weeks from today, the 20th of June. This decision was taken following a request from the Ministry of Education in order to facilitate online education. PUCSL Chairman Janaka Ratnayaka said that accordingly power cuts of 2 hours and 30 minutes will be imposed between 12 noon and 10:30 p.m. during this period. The Ministry of Education announced yesterday that all schools within the Colombo zone and suburbs, as well as the schools located in the main cities of other provinces, will remain closed next week, from the 20th of June to the 24th, due to the prevailing fuel crisis. However, the ministry had said all provincial education officials are given permission to continue in-person lessons at schools where the students, teachers and principals are not affected by transport issues. In this backdrop, the ministry had requested the PUCSL and the CEB to consider imposing daily power cuts after 12 noon so that teachers can continue academic activities of schools which will remain closed through online education. Sri Lanka's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Professor G.L. Pires, has met the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, the Secretary-General of the International Federation of the Red Cross, and the permanent representatives of China, the EU, Australia, the Republic of Korea, Germany, the Netherlands and Jordan in Geneva on the sidelines of the 50th session of the UN Human Rights Council. At the meeting with the High Commissioner Michelle Bachelet, Minister Pires assured that the High Commissioner of Sri Lanka's continued active engagement with the international system, including the Human Rights Council, in a candid and transparent manner, the Foreign Ministry said. The Foreign Minister also described in detail the results achieved on the ground by local mechanisms including the Office of Missing Persons, the Office for Reparations, the Office for National Unity and Reconciliation, the SDG Council, as well as independent institutions such as the Human Rights Commission of Sri Lanka. The Foreign Minister Pires informed the High Commissioner that the invitation to undertake an official visit to Sri Lanka extended previously still stands. He also wished her well on her upcoming retirement, announced at the beginning of the current session, the statement said. At the meeting with Ambassador Zhen Zhu, the permanent representative of China, the Foreign Minister thanked China for the continuous support extended to Sri Lanka over the years.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhaloka Vedamahatma.
The Minister of Power and Energy, Kanchana Wijesekara, says that letters of credit LCs for $90 million have been opened for a shipment of petrol and diesel. Speaking during a press briefing in Colombo, he said that the shipment of petrol is expected to reach the island on the 23rd of June, while the diesel shipment is scheduled to arrive on the 24th of June. He therefore urged the public not to queue up for fuel in the next 3 to 4 days until the fuel shipments arrive. Meanwhile, the minister requests private bus operators to obtain their fuel requirements from the nearest Sri Lanka Transport Board depots where necessary arrangements have been made. He therefore urged the private bus operators not to proceed to other filling stations. He added that school, staff and tourist transport vehicles can also obtain their fuel requirements from the nearest SLTB depots. Minister Wijesekara said that steps will be taken to issue fuel for essential services from select filling stations on Friday starting next week. He said three-wheelers and motorcycles will be issued fuel on dedicated days based on the last digit on the number plate.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhaloka Vedamahatma.
And now in Watchlight, the National Dengue Control Unit Director Dr. Sudat Samaravira yesterday said that 83 MOH divisions in 16 districts have been declared as dengue high-risk zones as a number of dengue cases have seen an unprecedented increase. He said the Colombo district has been declared as the high-risk district and 18 MOH divisions in the district have also been declared as high-risk zones due to higher prevalence of dengue cases. That was Watchlight, and now in world news headlines. French elections, Macron loses majority as French vote fragments. 8 suspects linked to Dom Phillips and Bruno Pereira deaths. Ukraine to ban music by some Russians in media and public spaces. Less than 2 months after he was re-elected, President Emmanuel Macron has lost control of the French National Assembly following a strong performance by a left alliance and the far right. He had called on voters to deliver a solid majority, but his centrist coalition lost dozens of seats in an election that has left French politics fragmented. The Prime Minister had only recently appointed Elisabeth Borne, said the situation too was unprecedented. 8 people are now suspects in the murders of British journalist Dom Phillips and indigenous expert Bruno Pereira, police say. 3 suspects have already been arrested, but 5 more people who allegedly helped hide their bodies have now been identified, police told reporters. Ukraine's parliament has voted in favor of banning some Russian music in media and public spaces. The ban will not apply to all Russian music, but rather relates to music created or performed by those who are or were Russian citizens after 1991. Artists who have condemned Russia's war in Ukraine can apply for an exemption from the ban. That was world news. And now in development news, the Private Bus Operators Association says they will deploy around 50% of the private buses from today. The chairman of the association, Gamun Vijayaratna, says the service will increase with the number of buses based on the availability of fuel. However, it was decided to provide the maximum possible service to passengers at this crucial juncture, he added.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank, we present your future.
A magnificent maiden ODI century from Pathum Nissanka and a well-paced innings from Kusal Mendis that was only ended by what appeared to be a cramp headlined a record Sri Lanka chase against Australia to earn them a 2-1 series lead with 2 games remaining. Nissanka and Mendis added 170 for the second wicket before Mendis, who was barely able to walk, had to leave the crease after having received treatment over the preceding overs. However, any concerns that Sri Lanka's progress would be stalled were eased by Dhananjay De Silva, while Nissanka picked up his rate again after reaching 3 figures from 123 deliveries to finish with Sri Lanka men's highest individual score against Australia. In scores, Australia batted first and made 291 for 6 in 50 overs. In reply, Sri Lanka reached the victory target, losing only 4 wickets and 8 balls to spare.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Reiterating its mandate to be an enabling partner in the growth of all its stakeholders, Ceylon Bank initiated a partnership with Rhoda Life Private Limited, launched in 2020, the designer and manufacturer of Sri Lanka's first electric smart bicycle. The partnership will open many banking facilities and networking opportunities for Rhoda in its journey as a homegrown innovative mobility solution. Ceylon Bank continues to proactively make the most of every opportunity that can offer growth to its stakeholders, and the bank considers entrepreneurship and small and medium enterprises SME development as priority areas due to the potential these sectors possess in their contribution to the national economy.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic News, courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Korean Packaging Private Limited KSPA recently signed an agreement with the Board of Investment with respect to the resumption of the operation of the defunct Ambilipitia paper mill to manufacture paper for the corrugated industry, which had discontinued its production since 2012. The project, which is a $16 million investment in its first phase, aims at manufacturing industrial-grade papers for the direct and indirect export market by upgrading machinery and infrastructure. The Ambilipitia paper mills belonging to the National Paper Company Limited is the second oldest paper mill in the country, set up in 1978. However, the operations came to a standstill in 2003, and though it resumed operations in 2011, it became a very short stint as the paper mill was closed again in 2012.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And now for the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the western and Sabaragama provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, Gala and Mathura districts. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters may occur at some places in the Sabaragama province and in the Kaluthura, Gala and Mathura districts. Several spells of showers will occur in the northwestern province. Showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the Uva province and in the Ampara district during the evening or night. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize the damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during the thunder showers. This weather report was issued this morning at 5:30 a.m. Further details can be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com reports that the day's weather will be bright with occasional showers. Today's daytime temperature would be around 30 degrees Celsius. There will be light showers in many places in the Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 25 degrees Celsius and there will be scattered showers in select spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 25 degrees Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index AQI is 19, which shows an excellent air condition in Colombo. The air quality is ideal for most individuals to enjoy normal outdoor activities. That was the weather report. And now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. India extends fullest support to Sri Lanka. The police caution cyclists over increasing road accidents. Plans to expedite the development of the KKS harbour. The PUCSL says no power cuts in the morning for the next 2 weeks. The government schools and government-approved schools in Colombo and suburbs closed this week. The Foreign Minister Pires meets with the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. The public urged not to queue up for fuel in the next 3 to 4 days. SLTB deposed to issue fuel for private buses. The Paddy Marketing Board has distributed 10,000 MT of rice to the market. In news overseas, Ukraine to ban music by some Russians in media and public spaces. In sports news, Pathum Nissanka's brilliant maiden ODI 100 secures big chase. That concludes this news broadcast.